Right, so let's spend a couple minutes talking about answering Alexandra's question, because I think that some of you all are probably experimenting with content creation and whatnot, and maybe interested in live streaming, and maybe actually maybe hopefully you all are, because I am of the mind that I really do think there needs to be way more voices on YouTube, especially around women's sports. So I highly encourage more people to get into women's basketball commentary. Um, Absolutely. So if there's anything I can do to sort of help with advice or whatnot, let me know. I'm happy to give that, and I'm gonna give that to you right now. So I would say, first of all, I would say figure out whatever your why is. I would say figure out whatever your why is, and do that. So my why, the whole why of me doing this, um, it was not to make money. It was not to grow a big following. I didn't really think this was even going to be successful. But the reason why I started this is because I love women's basketball, and I did not think that there was enough voices at all. There was really no real voices on YouTube about women's basketball, especially from a female. The only voices I really heard were dudes, and they were primarily very negative about the WNBA and women's basketball as a whole. And I was like, you know what? I really there needs to be a voice on here that's sort of speaking for the real fans, speaking for the real people, and is talking about the awesomeness of the game. Yeah, sure, accepts reality and talks about the negatives about the game as well. But the whole point is to grow the game. So that's why, that's my why. That's why I do what I do. Um, I would also say, don't start live streaming. All right. I made a lot of videos before I ever live stream. And to me, I think that helped me a lot. I don't think you should rush into live streaming. I think you should um, produce videos and do that for a long while, actually. I think you do that for a long while, because there is a whole lot of pressure live streaming, because literally every single thing I say is live. All right. If I make a mistake, if I say something stupid, like, it is live. That means anybody can take this clip and send it. So you have to be aware of what you're saying, and you have to make sure you're sort of thinking about stuff in the right framework. And I think that if you are starting off and you are starting off live, I think it's a mistake, because you're gonna wind up saying and doing stuff that you actually regret, because you're not really thinking about it. You're just like sort of going with the flow. My first live stream, I didn't it took me a long while to live stream. I was producing videos for months before I ever, and I would write out a script. I would record the video. I would spend hours editing the video, taking out all the taking out all the crazy stuff. Like, what was I talking about here? Whittling it down, trying to figure out how to succinctly kind of say what I want to say. And I did that for months. And then I was like, you know what? Okay, now it is time to go live. You have to be comfortable talking to camera before you decide, I want to do live streams. I want to do live streams, because it's not all that cracked up to be if you don't feel comfortable talking to the camera. Guys, it took me a long time to get comfortable just talking, and feeling comfortable. Like, I can just, guys, now I can talk for hours in front of a camera with nobody else in the room. That is something that is, it takes a, well, for me, it took a long time to get used to. I assume for other people it also takes a long time to get used to. Um, but but yeah, um, I think that we, Jay, if you're still in the chat, people give let people know if it took you a long time to feel comfortable. For me, it took me a long time to feel comfortable talking to the camera. So I had to make a lot of produced videos and work out. Okay, that looked terrible. I need to reshoot. This is really bad. Whatnot. So hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully that is. Um, Again, I'm sort of saying this to answer the question that Alexandra had. Alexandra had a super chat asking about advice for people getting into live stream. I say start with producing a lot of videos, making videos, not live. You're recording, you're talking to the camera, you're getting used to that. You're getting used to sort of figuring out how to word stuff. Because talking to people on the computer is very different than talking to people in real life. Because yes, I can read you all's chats, but there's no person in the room that can really go back and forth with me. So you have to kind of be able to get your point across in a somewhat succinct way. And the way to do that, I think, is to practice by making a lot of produced videos. That way, most of the mistakes you make, no one will ever see them because you'll scrap them. You'll edit them out. And once you start to feel comfortable, then you go live. I will also say, don't pay attention to the views. Don't pay attention to the views. I think there's so many people who all they really care about is views and whatnot. And views are very important. But guys, truly, when I say this, I say it because it's true. When I first started this, I did not care about views. I didn't. I did not care about views. Views were not important to me. I wanted to grow the game of women's basketball. I didn't really care if 5 people watched my video, if 20 people watched my video, like whatever, if 100, I didn't care because it wasn't about that. It was about doing something I have a passion about and something I was obsessed with since I was a little kid. And I was like, I'm not afraid anymore. I'm going to just get on here. I'm going to talk and I'm going to give my opinion and we'll see what comes up with it. And it turns out that people actually like it. But I think if I would have started off trying to appeal to people, trying to get people to watch me and whatnot, I don't think this channel would be where it's at right now. I don't. All right. I don't think this channel would be where it's at if I came into this thinking about, oh, I want to make money. Oh, I want to get views. Oh, I don't think so. Because I think I would have made completely different moves if that was my goal. You know, I would be making completely different moves if that was my goal. So yeah, that's the thing. And it just turns out that this thing has become somewhat successful, at least in my mind. I think this is way bigger than I've ever imagined. And so thank you to all the people who have subscribed to this channel, who have liked this channel and all this stuff, because I still can't believe it. Like, seriously, I tell my mom all the time, like, why in the world, why in the world are people interested in what I got to say? Like, why? I just can't believe it. I can't. I really can't. I love what I do. I have a passion for women's basketball. I love the educational side of what I do. But I just can't believe that like people care. Because no one knows me, right? I'm just a random YouTuber. No one knows who I am. Teams don't know who I am. Players don't know who I am. I'm just, I'm not endorsed by anybody. I'm just me, and I have decided that's good enough. The only thing that matters to me is whether or not God is pleased with what I'm doing, right? Other than that, I'm only pleasing one. Is he pleased with what I'm doing, with what I'm saying? Then I'm good. So that's kind of the thing right there. I hope. Please, Alexandra, respond and let me know if that was helpful. I feel like I started to go on a rant a little bit, but hopefully some of that was helpful. But guys, truly, get into content creation if that is your passion. If that is your passion, if you really want to not make money first, not get views first, not do any of that stuff, not to grow and be popular or whatever, like not that. But if you really want to talk about a particular thing and that's just your passion, that's just what you want to do, regardless of if 5 people watch it or if 1 million people watch it, if that's what you want to do, get into content creation. All right. I think it is a crazy field to get into. I'm not even sure I'm even in the field. I still don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm learning as I go along and I'm having fun. And ultimately I am still honoring my values, still honoring the person I was raised to be. So as long as I'm doing that, I'm cool. I'm cool, guys. Thank you so much, Carmela, for the super chat. Says you are awesome sauce. Well, Carmela, you are awesome sauce. Because, guys, don't forget that Carmela is the person who saved the day when it came to March Madness, guys. I was able to go to the Final Four game courtesy of Carmela and her awesomeness. So shout out. And also, Carmela, let me know if you want to go to a Sky game. Let me know. Let me know. Because I told you that the Fever game is called for. However, there's another game you want to go to. Let me know. Hit me up. Hit me up. Hit me up. Alexandria says, I have videos from last year that got like 50 views, but then started to get more over a year later. Patience is really key. Yeah. It's something interesting about that. One of my videos, actually, I put it, it was the video about Cheryl Reeve and how she what was the video about? It's about how she's not going to be the coach next year for next year for Team USA. Right? So I made that video and I put it out and it didn't really do much of anything. It got like I think like 2,000 views or something like that, which for me is average. It's pretty average. It had like 2,000 views after like the first, I don't know, like day or maybe 2 days or something like that. And then all of a sudden, guys, like the last 2 days, it has gotten crazy views. I don't know how. I guess it's been showing up on YouTube search or something like that, or Google search or whatever, and it just skyrocketed. And sometimes I have videos like that like start off and they do terrible, and then like further down the road, then people start watching it, and I'm like, wow, what happened? Why are you watching this? But so yeah, you do have to have patience. But Alexandra, if this is your passion, if that is something that you would like to do, hey, step on out there and keep doing it. You say you've been making videos, which is awesome. So yeah, keep doing it. And then once you feel like really comfortable talking to camera and just sort of going riffing, then start going live. But I will say, your first couple of lives, you should have a script. My first couple of lives, like when I was actually sitting in this chair, I actually wrote out a lot of the stuff I was saying. I wrote it out. Now I don't really write anything at all because I just make a mental sort of note of what I want to talk about in my head. And that's how I do stuff now. But when I first started, yeah, I would write out what I'm saying. All right, guys, sorry about that whole rant, but I appreciate the question though. In case some of y'all are interested, because I think the more the merrier. I think there should be way more people talking about women's basketball on the internet. I don't think, I'm not of the mindset that competition is bad. I think competition is fantastic. We need to have way more people making content about women's basketball and talking about it, because we'll always have the negative Nancys out there that's just all, oh, everything sucks, the WNBA is terrible and blah blah blah. Like, we always got that, but we need the real people. We need real fans. We need real people who are invested in the league, not just in terms of watching, but literally in terms of putting their money where their mouth is, talking about the game online. And Twitter's a space where a lot of people do that, and I think YouTube needs to be more of a place for that. Patrice says Cheryl is pissing me off. It's pissing people off. Yeah, Cheryl's always, Cheryl Reeve she does whatever she wants to do. Cheryl Reeve does whatever she wants to do. I assume you're talking about Cheryl Reeve, unless you're talking about somebody else. Donald says, what do you use to edit your videos? I use DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, I use DaVinci Resolve. Element Gold says, does anyone think Iowa will go to a Final Four ever again? Like, ever? I don't doubt they would get to the Elite Eight. Sweet 16 is the only realistic goal for them for all time here on out. Well, Element, I would say before Caitlin Clark ever stepped foot at Iowa, I don't think anybody thought that Iowa would make the Final Four ever again. And so I would say, I don't know. I don't see them getting into the Final Four in the next 4 years. But we never know what superstar may be coming up the ranks and may decide to go to Iowa. we never know. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever make the Final Four again. But I do think that they're gonna be pretty decent this year. They're not gonna be fantastic. I also don't think they're gonna be horrible. I don't. I think they're gonna be pretty decent. Jay says, "Well said, Quita. Agree with all your points on that topic." Yeah, I mean, Jay, you're in the thick of it too. Yeah, this content creation thing is pretty interesting. But yeah, make sure y'all click off of this video, go to the search bar, search for J Jordan TV Liberty, click subscribe, and then come back here. All right, all right, all right, all right. And in general, support other women's basketball content creators, um, regardless if you agree with everything they say or not. And you guys definitely don't agree with everything I say because I'm all over the board sometimes. And I think that's good. I think subscribe to people who challenge your opinions. Not saying not just people who just want to dunk on the WNBA and all that stuff. That's not what I'm saying. But people who you may disagree with about certain points, or maybe they have fandoms about certain stuff, and you're like you don't agree. Like support. Support. Let's grow the game of women's basketball. And as the game grows, as more people are creating content about certain stuff, I think that actually helps create more fans in general. I think that creates more fans. Thank you so much, Michael. Michael says, "You are amazing. I love how you have been true to who you are. You don't have any false negative BS to attract people. You have the ability to elevate others while not having to put anyone down." I mean, that's the deal. I mean, but it's not necessarily even that I'm trying not to put people down. It's that this is actually really who I am. Like, this is just me. Like I just say how I actually see things and how I actually feel, and it just happens that I don't see things in ways that tear people down. It's about building people up. It's about talking about like reality, and sort of going from there. At least in my opinion.